Hey everybody, it's Tracy and I'm back again. And this time I'm armed with a list of my favorite books that came out in 2018. I am sticking only to books that came out in 2018 because though I read a lot of books in 2018, trying to pick out my favorites out of all of them would be super hard, so I'm limiting myself to just books that came out in 2018. So actually I'm going to cheat a little with the first book on my list. It did officially come out in 2018, but I read it in November 2017, and that is The Bells by Danielle Clayton. If you have not read The Bells yet, I had to run and get my copy. If you have not read The Bells yet, stop what you're doing and go grab a copy. The sequel, The Everlasting Rose, will come out in, I think, February. Don't quote me though, I'm terrible with dates. But it will be coming out soon, and you are going to want to be in on this journey. Danielle's writing is so beautiful and lush, and it makes you just feel like you are in Orleans. And I can't rave enough about this book. The next book I'm going to talk about is, well, That Escalated Quickly by Francesca Ramsey. It is a memoir about Francesca's adventures in social media and becoming the social media maven that she is now. And it is so real. It talks about things that I'm sure all of us that are on social media go through. And she is candid about her own mistakes, the things she's messed up on, and how she has learned and grown through the years. I actually got to go to see her during her book tour. Got my book signed and everything. And she is just as amazing in person as she is both on social media and in her book. So I totally recommend this book. My next book is Dread Nation. My copy is actually in my classroom because that book is just so good. I had to share it with my students. It's about a young girl after the Civil War ended because the dead rose up from the Gettysburg battle and there are zombies, and now black people and natives are like conscripted to fight the zombies. And it all follows Jane on her, I hesitate to say misadventures because that makes it sound a lot more lighthearted, but her adventures like fighting zombies, trying to get back to her mother, and all of the other terrible things that happen along the way. The book has its laughs, but it also has very dramatic moments, and Justina Ireland is not one to miss. I believe the sequel for that book also comes out later this year. I cannot wait. My next book on my list is Sarah J. Maas's short novella, A Court of Frost and Starlight. I am a S.J. Maas fan. I particularly like her Court of Thrones and Roses series better than the Throne of Glass series. So when this new like Christmas book came out, I was really excited, and it's really nice. It's lighthearted. It's not, it does deal with some heavy things like the main character's PTSD and another character learning to come out to her friends and family. But on the whole, it's about healing and it's about love, both romantic and familial and platonic, which are all important loves. And it was just a really good book. I enjoyed it a lot. My next book is another one that deals a lot with love. If you have never read an Alyssa Cole book, then you are missing out. The start of her new series, the Reluctant Royal series, is a princess in theory. It's kind of like Coming to America meets the what's that? Princess Diaries? Yeah, that's the movie I'm thinking of. Coming to America meets Princess Diaries. So the main character does not know that she's really a princess. Her parents took her to America when she was young and they died. So she grew up in foster care not knowing who she really was. And her betrothed, a prince, thought that she was a national traitor and was willingly not coming back to their country to marry him and keep the promise that her family made for them to marry. So he decides to go to America and hunt her down and realizes like what kind of person she really is. He hides his identity and like basically tries to woo her as himself rather than as a prince. It's a really cute story. I can't wait to read the rest of the series. I'm kind of behind on it. A Duke by Default also came out last year, and this year a novella in the series is coming out, Once Ghosted Twice Shy, and I think there's a 4th book in the series coming out this year. Alyssa Cole writes way too fast for me to keep up, but I love her writing so much, and you guys should check it out. So my next book is another YA novel, American Panda by Gloria Chow. It is about a girl who graduated high school early, so she's like 17, I think, and in her freshman year at college. She's balancing a heavy workload and keeping up with what her parents want, which is her to be a doctor, and what she wants, which is not to be a doctor. She's totally afraid of germs and blood and hates everything that will have to do with being a doctor. So she's trying to figure that out. Plus she falls for a boy that her parents would not approve of. So then there's also that on her plate. And sometimes she just wants to dance, but dancing was only supposed to be something that looks good on her college application, not something she's actually supposed to love. So she's going through a lot. It's a really good book. I believe we need more YA set in college, so I'm so glad that this book is out there. We need more. So read it. My next book is a really well-known one. It is also another one that is currently in my classroom. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. It is very much reminiscent of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but in all the best ways. And it is African-inspired fantasy. People who are proud to be black and beautiful, and it's a great adventure. There's action, there's romance, like Jimmy Fallon loves it, so what more do you want? It's a great and fun book. And the last one, the last book on my list is not a full novel, it is a novella. The Black God's Drums by P. Djele Clark. I'm sorry if I'm massacring his name. I'm terrible at pronunciations. But it is a steampunk alternative history novella set in New Orleans. And it has like a diverse cast. People who are disabled, black, white, like mute. I can't even fully describe this novella. It is powerful, and I was not supposed to sit up finishing it. And even though I had work the next morning, I was up to like 2 a.m. reading it because it was just so engaging. I couldn't put it down. I had to know what happened. I had to find out about the Black God's drums. And I'm telling you, you need to read it so you too can find out about the Black God's drums. It's so full of action, like non-stop action. I didn't know so much could happen in such a short amount of space. It's like maybe 120 pages. If you like fantasy, science fiction, steampunk, all of that, read this novella. But that's all for the books that came out in 2018 that I really loved. I totally recommend you read all of them. I'm going to put them in a list in the description box so that you can easily find them. I'll put their Goodreads pages up. If you liked hearing me talk about what books I enjoyed, go ahead and give this video a like. I would very much appreciate it. And if you really enjoyed hearing me talk, then subscribe. I promise you I'll talk about books a lot more. I also talk about writing and the publishing industry. So follow along, enjoy the ride. But until then, keep reading and keep writing. I'll see you next time.